Malaysia is very stable politically and very consistent in its policies, and these too can contribute much towards investors from foreign countries.
I would want to welcome everyone to come to Malaysia to experience for themselves the warmth of Malaysian people and the many beautiful places and things to experience here, which will be an experience for everyone.
Malaysia is really a very modern country, but with very traditional, in a way, contemporary lifestyle.
ASEAN is an attractive place to invest in. 500-600 million people, growing robustly every year. And if you wish to choose a country in ASEAN, please choose Malaysia.
Malaysia has become an economic success story. Its growth in the last few decades has been remarkable. Malaysia is now the second richest country in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. In purchasing terms, its GDP per capita has grown to 7 times that of 1980, and the nation has become integrated into the global economy through its trade. In spite of the global economy, Malaysia has continued to attract foreign direct investment, and the government is supporting plans to ensure this not only continues, but increases. As a nation once reliant on plantations, it's been transformed into a diversified and open economy. The country's progression doesn't stop there. To maintain its competitive position, it's continuing to work toward its vision of becoming a high-income nation by the year 2020 through its economic transformation program and corresponding government transformation program. This includes liberalized rules for foreign investors in sub-sectors which play a key role in Malaysia's overall competitiveness in business. The government has announced it will maintain this liberalization first and foremost in the services sector for both foreign and domestic companies. Its vision doesn't come without tribulations. To move away from middle-income status, the nation will need to address some important economic weaknesses in its transition, such as skill shortages, deficiencies in its education system, and improvements to productivity in small and medium enterprises. If Vision 2020 becomes a reality, Malaysia expects to see not only high income status, but around $444 billion in investments, creating approximately 3.3 million jobs and boosting its gross national income per capita to $15,000. The Economic Transformation Plan has exciting goals and is already on its way to return the private sector to its role as the main instrument for economic growth.
The foreign investors play a very important part in the developing of an emerging economy. Primarily, they bring in capital, but more importantly is that they will bring in technology, know-how, and linkage to the markets back home. And because of this, it is very important that Malaysia and other emerging countries begin to adopt a more open and liberalized economy.
TS Solar Tech, Malaysia's high-tech solar energy. We are the first Malaysian company to employ the most advanced German solar energy technologies, including Malaysia's first domestic automatic solar cell manufacturing equipment. We will continue to expand our production capacity to achieve even greater economies of scale. TS Solar Tech. We are committed to providing clean and effective solar energy at affordable prices for a sustainable world.
Small and medium enterprises are important contributors to the Malaysian economy, making up around 99.2% of the nation's total businesses and 32% of the GDP. These businesses consequently cover a wide range of industries, the largest of which being the services sector at 87%. This has made SMEs become one of the focal points in Malaysia's Economic Transformation Plan, or ETP. Under this vision, the government developed an SME master plan in 2012, which seeks to raise the gross domestic product contribution from 32 to 41% and enable these businesses to compete on the global stage. The plan's main objectives are to increase startups, expand the number of innovative companies, raise productivity and support formalization. This is all supported as part of Vision 2020 and the movement toward innovation and productivity-led growth. One success story in this area is Pro8, a business supporting the oil and gas industry, which still plays an important part in Malaysia's overall economy, contributing 1/5 of its GDP in the last decade. Under the economic plan, the oil and gas sector is expected to deliver an additional 131.4 billion in gross national income in the next 6 years. Despite the expected decline in gas production, this will mean a 5% annual growth, supporting over 50,000 new jobs in highly skilled areas.
Pro8, the dynamic equipment manufacturer and supplier to the oil and gas industry in Malaysia and beyond. Our state-of-the-art mechanical seals and other products reflect our passion for innovation, always at the cutting edge in our field. We employ the latest technologies and place a high priority on research and development. Pro8, we welcome the chance to partner with you.
Well, the use of English is very widespread among institutions, educational institutions in Malaysia. And English, as you know, is almost the lingua franca of the world. So people who learn in English find that they can work anywhere in the world, and certainly in their own countries. So because of the usage of English, Malaysia has become attractive.
The Government and Economic Transformation Plan have identified education as one of the key sectors in ensuring Malaysia's success in Vision 2020. The country recognizes that without an adequately educated workforce, it will struggle to reach this ambition. In a bid to support this, the government has acknowledged that a complete overhaul in the present education system is needed. And so the Malaysia Education Blueprint was born. A little-known fact is that Malaysia has top-performing institutions with a world ranking of 11th internationally in the World Education Report's preferred destinations for higher education. 2010 saw more than 86,000 international students choose Malaysia as their destination for further study, recently growing to more than 93,000 a year. As part of Vision 2020, it's hoped education will contribute between 34 billion and 61 billion ringgit to Malaysia's gross national income, with an anticipated annual international student intake of around 200,000.
I think Malaysia is on the right track, not only to become a center of learning in the region, but to train, to educate its own citizens to become world citizens, to improve its quality of its own citizens and human resources. There is a lot of work to be done, of course. We still have a long way to go to be at par with the finest and the best in the world. There is a lot of resources that need to be put in higher education. But one of the most important things I think that's good for Malaysia is that both its leaders and its citizens put education and higher education on the top of their social agenda. And I think that gives great hope that Malaysia can play its role, an important, crucial role in the region, in the world, when it comes to knowledge, when it comes to innovation, when it comes to higher education.
For international students, quality assurance controls have already been put in place to ensure high standards in qualifications. The Malaysian Qualifications Agency, established in 2007, was created for this sole purpose and is responsible for monitoring the overall quality assurance practices and accreditation of higher education in Malaysia.
UMMC is a teaching hospital. We have three main functions, which is teaching, research, and providing service. We are a teaching hospital for the Faculty of Medicine, the University of Malaya, where we have medical students doing a training here. We also train specialists for the specialist program for the country. At the same time, we are also teaching nurses, radiographers, and medical lab technologists. For research, we are actually the clinical research center for those academic staff, and we are providing service for our patients, and we have introduced a lot of innovative treatments, and in this way we are different from other hospitals which provide only clinical service. They do not have the teaching and the research component.
Healthcare is a prime focus in Malaysia's transformation program, with an expected GNI growth rate of 22% and 16.6 billion ringgit by the year 2020. The forthcoming years are expected to transform the sector, and to succeed, the country needs to move faster than its regional competitors. The government has noted key areas to fulfill its potential, and every effort is going into helping the health sector reach its ambitious target.
UMMC is a teaching hospital, and the faculty, members of the Faculty of Medicine are practicing here. We have a very active research. Most of the research are clinical research. We have set up a clinical investigation center since the year 2000, and this has carried out a lot of clinical research, both pharmaceutical sponsored research as well as investigator-initiated research. And this is one of the best research centers, clinical research centers in the country, and it has been recognized by several foreign bodies. Most of the grants for the research are obtained from the Ministry of Science as well as the Ministry of Education from Malaysia, as well as funding from pharmaceutical companies for pharmaceutical sponsored research.
Pharmaceuticals, services and medical technology are the main areas to watch, specifically for export opportunities. The government wants to increase capacity in pharmaceuticals, utilizing the existing domestic pharma industry and refocusing on higher value manufacturing, while investing in research and development to ensure a sustainable sector for the future. Services expect a boost in export-focused services such as health tourism, while medical technology is looking to increase export of consumables to new markets. The sector is working toward the capability to manufacture important medical equipment, including in vitro diagnostic test kits, orthopedic implants and dental devices.
The pharmaceutical industry in Malaysia is fairly open. The market is about 5.4 billion ringgit, of which about 3/4 of it is actually by innovators, multinationals, and about 1/4 of it is actually by local manufacturers.
To welcome all manner of requirements in the pharma industry, the nation continues to enforce its leading position in the halal pharmaceutical sector, with companies such as the chemical company Malaysia Berhad having nearly 200 products certified by the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, known as JAKIM. This supports the growing global demand in halal pharmaceuticals and a chance to capitalize on local expertise in this field.
We would expect that the consumers, or the Muslim consumers, especially from government hospitals and major hospitals, to require halal pharmaceuticals to be made available to them. So in that sense, the future, at least for this country, for Malaysia, is that people would expect to already have it available. Now, in pharmaceuticals, it's not that easy to actually develop a halal alternative. When you look back to perhaps many years back, when the innovators started developing the drugs, most of them were actually invented in Western countries who are not really aware or cognizant or even take into consideration of halal compliance. Now, in that sense, most of the drugs in the world has actually been non-halal, following bovine material rather than bovine. But now, I think with more awareness of halal preference and more technology and awareness in the industry of being able to develop it, you will get more alternatives in the market. And I think for Malaysia, I hope to see, well actually I anticipate to see, that it will almost be expected in the years to come.
Foreign patients are already choosing Malaysia for its healthcare offering, but there's now an even stronger focus on expanding health tourism. The Deputy Health Minister, Dr. Hilmi Yahaya, has already cited significant increases in revenue and health tourist visitors in the past few years, with even more anticipated in the coming years. The Malaysian Health Tourism Council is executing intense marketing and promotional strategies to support this growth, and has 72 hospitals and healthcare centres registered with them, who support the sector's role to provide attractive treatment at reasonable rates. Malaysia prides itself on its competitive health tourism offering, especially in compliance to international quality and safety standards, state-of-the-art medical technology, a multi-ethnic, multilingual workforce, and highly trained specialists. The Kuala Lumpur Sports Medicine Centre is one facility offering specific care dedicated to sports injuries. This private hospital offers MRI imagery, hydrotherapy, and orthopedic surgery, all with the latest technology.
For a private hospital to attract foreign patients, it is important to provide good care, good medical services. At the end of the day, what patient wants is actually they get better. They have to get better. Surgery must be performed satisfactorily. It must be medicine that is practiced must be ethical medicine. So things must be done ethically. Otherwise, the reputation of Malaysia as a medical tourist center will not flourish. Recent advances in stem cell therapy is very exciting. The evidence so far that we have is that stem cells enhances body repair. For example, ankle injuries in sportsmen, for example, bone regeneration, and also areas of cartilage regeneration which previously do not have good options are now able to be treated with stem cells with very good results. Malaysia needs to have a high standard of medical care, practicing good ethical medicine, not just for general bread and butter problem, but also attracting patients looking for subspecialty work. This Malaysia has got the expertise in certain fields. I am Dr. K. Yong Saw. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My field of expertise is on the application of stem cells to rebuild damaged cartilage in the knee joint. Recent application of stem cell therapy has enabled an integrated approach to injuries, with a continuing influx of regional and international patients seeking specialized solutions, especially in cartilage regeneration with stem cells. This has placed KLCC on the world map with its expertise. KLCC is a private hospital established as a one-stop center for sports injuries. With its state-of-the-art imaging, operating suites, and physiotherapy areas, this allows orthopedic consultants with subspecialty interests to diagnose and treat patients in a conducive environment.
As part of the National Economic Transformation Plan, 22 projects under the healthcare umbrella have been cited. Combined, these projects reach investments of around 3.38 billion ringgit and will create almost 24,000 jobs in the coming years.
The government has come up with a couple of incentives that sort of boost the medical tourism industry. One of which is the government gives incentive tax allowance. So it's like, for example, any hospitals who are promoting medical tourism get 100% tax rebate in terms of capital expenditure in modernizing the hospital or bringing in new equipment and so on. So that's why being a medical tourism hospital, you get incentives from the government. I think one of the advantages of being a medical tourist in Malaysia is Well, you will feel very comfortable here because it's a multicultural country. English is widely spoken. You have no problem relating your medical condition to the doctor, and that is very important in seeking treatment. And I think the cost of living in Malaysia is fairly reasonable and affordable. A lot of people can stay in a 5-star hotel, enjoy a good holiday, and get their screening or treatment done at a very competitive price. And I think what Malaysia wants to showcase to the world is this: we've got very good, high quality medical services at a very affordable rate, so it's value for money. So for people who are counting the cost and they want to be treated, I think the best place is to come to Malaysia.
Refurbished in 2013, Chorus Hotel Kuala Lumpur provides exceptional service. State-of-the-art facilities for executives and travelers. Ideally located within minutes walk to LRT station, Twin Towers, and KL Convention Center. Sample gourmet Chinese and Japanese cuisine or authentic local dishes in our famed restaurants. Enjoy live music in our cellar bar. Relax in our outdoor pool or in the spa or gym. Come visit Chorus in Malaysia.
Malaysia has identified healthcare tourism as one of its major thrusts in developing Malaysia into a fully developed nation. The doctors, whether they are basic trained, family physicians or specialists, we have many of them, and we have many private hospitals, all practicing extremely well. So our facilities are there. And second point is value for money, very important.
Visit Malaysia Year 2014. This is the large-scale campaign the country is running through the year in a bid to attract 28 million tourists to its lands. With a focus on celebrating Malaysia, truly Asia, there are hundreds of multicultural activities and festivals planned, supporting the overall drive to secure the country's place on the map as the go-to destination.
Malaysia is a country of 330,000 square kilometers with a population of 28 million people, but with coming from 47 ethnic backgrounds. 3 major ethnicity, the Malays, or many Muslims, the Chinese, the Indians, and then another 44 minority ethnic groups.
Refurbished in 2013, Chorus Hotel Kuala Lumpur provides exceptional service. State-of-the-art facilities for executives and travelers. Ideally located within minutes walk to LRT station, Twin Towers, and KL Convention Center. Sample gourmet Chinese and Japanese cuisine or authentic local dishes in our famed restaurants. Enjoy live music in our cellar bar. Relax in our outdoor pool or in the spa or gym. Come visit Chorus in Malaysia.
Not surprisingly, tourism is a big part of the National Key Economic Programme agenda and is aiming to reach 36 million tourists per annum by the programme's completion in 2020. There's a special focus on the luxury market, opening up to high spenders and lifting tourist income to the nation. Subsequently, there's also been a rise in demand for luxury properties, which is fitting in nicely to the Malaysia My Second Home programme. Initiated by the government, this welcomes all foreigners to retire or reside in the country with a 10-year renewable social visit pass and multiple entry visa. It seems Malaysia might already be on the right track to achieving its goals in this sector, as the Lonely Planet has named Malaysia as one of the best countries to travel to in 2014. Perhaps no surprise when you consider the array of UNESCO World Heritage sites like Penang, famous for its food and architecture, the beautiful Cameron Highlands, many a national park offering nature and adventure, and of course Malaysia's unique multicultural sights, sounds and scents.
The Prime Minister has identified tourism as a key economic direction. Therefore, we have also set 2020 to receive 36 million tourists, 1.5 times increase of arrival, but 168 billion ringgit Malaysian receipt. That's 3 times the receipt if compared to 2011's 58 billion.
Malaysia is a country embarking on an exciting plan to propel itself from middle to high income status by the year 2020. The nation has become highly integrated in the global economy through trade, rising to competition in the region for exports and foreign direct investment. Its favorable business climate and openness to international business has supported continuing strength in inflows of FDI, seeing a rapid recovery from the global financial crisis. But Malaysia's story doesn't stop here. It plans to take the country to the next exciting chapter through Vision 2020 and corresponding widespread economic transformation programs. Malaysia, progressive, diverse and ambitious. A success story with many chapters still to write.